Welcome friends, this is another video in the series of videos that I'm trying to prepare for covering the different topics for the AWS Certified Machine Learning Specialty Examination. So in this video we are going to talk about the data distributions, the different types of possible distributions of data that are relevant for this exam. This topic is quite important because there are a lot of questions that have been seen coming from this particular area. That all we need to understand is the conceptual understanding of how the data different distributions work and what is the significance. So to start with, the first I've already listed the different distributions that we are going to cover. To start with, we'll start with the probability density function, and a very specific example of a probability density function, which is the normal distribution. So the normal distribution is called normal because of the way the data is being arranged. So here what we do is we calculate the mean of the data, or a mean value of the distributed data, and then that mean value is centered at the zero level of the x-axis, and all the values are then moved either to the left or the right of the mean value. So and then there is something called standard deviation, and the way we calculate or interpret the data is from the mean value. If we move one standard deviation to the right and one standard deviation to the left, we get the maximum centered data, or basically we get an idea of how much data is centered in between one standard deviation from the mean value. And more or less we always get this kind of a bell curve where maximum amount of data is centered between one standard deviation. So if in this example, if you'll see, almost 68% of the data lies within one standard deviation from the mean value. And then as we move further, the amount of data or the density of data significantly decreases. Now the reason this is called a probability density function is because we are talking about probability of a particular data point lying in between this particular range. So what that means is, for any value to lie in between, or basically the probability of a value lying between one standard, or basically lying between a particular range of data from the mean value, is given by this probability density function. For example, here the value 0.2, the probability of 0.2 lying in between lying in between, or basically the probability of the next value for this data set to being 0.2 is very high, because you see here the value 0.2 lies in the area where the density is the highest. So that is how we can interpret this probability density function. Now one key thing to understand here is probability density function varies or can differ depending on our data set. If our data set is something where we can have continuous values, continuous in a sense we can have fractional values, that is we can have values which can be 0.2, basically 0.21, 0.22, 0.21, 3, 4, 5 and something like that. That is basically infinite number of possible values are allowed. Then it is a kind of continuous distribution. Then in that case the value may not have a fixed probability, or there can be just a range of possible probability for a particular value to happen. So that is continuous data distribution. When we have a discrete data distribution, in that case there is the difference between basically the function in that case is called probability mass function. And the idea here is, instead of having continuous values, we'll have discrete values. In this example, if you see here, the probability of the value being 3 is maximum, because what we have seen here as per the distribution is almost 30% of the values, or more than 30, let's say we can call, or more than almost 32% values are found to be exactly equal to 3, while less than 25% values are either 2 or 4. So like that. But the difference here is, if this would have been a continuous data set, we would have got this kind of a bell curve, but instead of that we have got this kind of discrete data set, which is precisely indicating that there is a probability of 32% for the next value coming in the distribution to be 3. So this is probability mass distribution. The key thing to understand, probability density function is for continuous values, probability mass function is for discrete values. Now there is another kind of data distribution which is called Poisson distribution function. The Poisson distribution function is based on a scientific experiment that was conducted, wherein a particular event was recorded, and then the average value of the probability of happening for that event as a positive outcome was recorded. So for example, it could be a coin toss, and then for that coin toss event it was recorded how many times the value could be head. So here in this example, the lambda value is that average value, which is indicated by a numerical figure. For example, when lambda is 1, so what it indicates is that the probability or the average value for the outcome is always going to be 1 for this kind of a distribution. So here we see, because lambda is 1, the probability of happening, the value to be 1 is the highest in the distribution. And the moment we talk about the probability of value to be something other than 1, then the values or the probability prediction goes significantly down. And a better example is here, where the average value for lambda is 10. So that means more often than not the value of this distribution is 10. So we can see here, for the value of 10 the probability is the highest. But as we move from either forward from 10, that is either values that are more than 10 or values that are less than 10, the probability of happening of those values significantly goes down. So this is how the Poisson distribution function works. And then there is something called binomial distribution. This is again the key difference here is this works for discrete values or discrete data points, where we are given a probability that is of a particular event. Average probability of happening of that event is 0.5, for example, in this case, and the total number of iterations that were performed is 20. Similarly, for the pink dot distribution that we have, probability was of happening, average probability of event to occur is 0.7, and the number of kind of repetition is n, or number of events that are recorded is n equal to 20. So the key difference between Poisson's distribution function, or not Poisson's distribution, the continuous distribution function, and rest all of these are that these are discrete events, and the prior functions or the probability density function is basically for continuous distribution. Now a unique example or a unique case of binomial distribution is Bernoulli distribution, where the number of events that are recorded n is equal to 1. So that's a special case of binomial distribution. So that's it for this lecture. Basically all these distributions are those which have actually been identified to be coming in exams in different questions. So that's why I wanted to cover these. And of course you can basically study more around these distributions to get more idea as to what each of these distributions mean, and that would be really helpful for you in the examination. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Thanks a lot.